Alrighty, boys and girls. Today we're out at my buddy Jordan's farm, and we got the little 8C Mighty Mac. So the machine's been on the channel twice now. This is our $400 skid steer, which just recently became a $150 skid steer because, if you'll remember, it came with a spare bucket, and I was able to sell that the other day for 250 bucks, which worked out good because it didn't even fit this machine anymore with the quick attach. So our $150 8C Mighty Mac, not really quite 100% true. We do have a couple bucks in parts in this, but kind of fun to say. Anyway, today we got it hauled up to my buddy's farm. It's actually going to live here for a little while. You guys will understand soon enough, but today we are going to use it to clean out his barn of horse manure because his farm all over there doesn't really fit in there so well. So only things I've done since you guys last seen it is we set it like this so I could tilt the cab back and slide the seat pan in. So now we actually have a place to sit. And that's really it. So this thing's completely untested. Haven't even moved a bucket load of material with it yet, so let's see how it does. Alrighty, we're all fueled up, ready to do some poop moving. So same as last time we were here, we're gonna clean out the barn first. Maybe we'll do a little dirt pile playing around. Check out the bottom of the bucket. This is the first view we really get of it. Look how nice it is. That's nice. Here's the poop room. Hopefully you guys can see the lighting's going to be really messed up. Really dark barn and bright outside. But there's a ton of horse manure in here. We're going to try and clear it out for them. I think we'll back drag it off the wall first. Kind of get it in a pile, and then we're just going to load it into a bucket. Bucket's definitely a little loose.
Now, please do not judge my skid steer operation capabilities too harshly. It's been about a year since we've owned one of these machines, and really a year since I've gotten to run a skid steer. And although I would not consider myself an operator in any way, shape, or form, I have gotten a chance to run quite a few different types of skid steers, a lot of which were new or close to new. And I will hold true to the fact that I think these old Gales and Hydra-Macs are the most fun skid steers you can run. And I highly recommend trying one out. Kind of like running a big Tonka toy, but they are pretty useful actually, I found.
This one is way better because it has way nicer tires than the last time we did this. Quite a full bucket, of course. find Jordan so he could dump the poop tractor. But the poop skid steer is doing really good. Those tires are way nicer, even though the rears are kind of bald. Compared to the Gale that we did this with last time, those are a world of difference. Cleaning up pretty good. It's also nice to have a flat bucket and a not bent boom like last time. So the little guy's cooking along pretty good, and I really mean cooking, because without a seat, the back of the seat pan there gets really hot on my butt. So we're gonna let it cool off for a minute while we dump the tractor, but making pretty good progress in here. There's a lot of poop in here to start, and we've already got one Farmall 560 load worth out of here, and probably got at least one more. I gotta figure out if he wants this big rock out of here too. Found that with the skid steer bucket. That was a little jarring, but I also don't want to get too close to his foundation. I prefer not to have to pay for a new barn. Anyway, let's go fire up the 560 and haul that out to the poop land. Ham on it. All right. Alright, we're on Jordan's sweet International 560 now. Yeah, the loader just goes with it. Anyway, never driven one of these. Let's see how this goes. We gotta go take this poop and we're gonna go put it in the pit next to his house. Just trying to fill in. Brakes are way far up there. All right, where's first? Back there. Bring that down so we don't take out the street. We're farming now, boys and girls. Sounds good. I think it's straight pipe. Grab second. Oh yeah, highway gear right there. Just kidding, it's got 3 more on top of that. Alright, so there's some sort of foundation over here that Jordan's slowly been filling in. This manure is not really a good compaction substance, but he said throw it down here anyway, so. To the pit it goes. Put her in first for this operation. Woo! Those brakes take a little bit now. Easy peasy. That's my first time running an International this big, I think. This is the biggest gas International I've ever run. Clobbered with trees. Sweet. poop bucket load number 2. Also, pretty good success. We only got like a little bit more. Like I said, I don't want to break his foundation or poke through a wall, so we're going to leave all that. But I'd like to at least get the last little remainders. We're not going down to dirt here. This is still a barn. Just to get the big chunkies out. So I think this is our last tractor load. So let's hop on the 560 and go dump this in an old foundation again. We're in reverse still. Ripping now. All right, let's pull her back into first as we get near this foundation. Goodbye, Poopy. Ah, the GoPro survived that trip. Awesome.
So with the last full tractor load dumped, we went ahead and switched over to just hauling little buckets with the skid steer over to the pit to finish up. I even went ahead and got a selfie shot to show off the absolute vacant look I have on my face while I was locked in on trying to clean out the doorway into the barn so that the sliding door would work a little better.
All right, well, the little guy died on the job, but we are pretty much finished. The last thing I wanted to do was grab that piece of concrete. Like I said, they're not doing anything new in this barn. It's just gonna get pooped in again, so it didn't have to be perfect. And little 8C did just the job for it. Also, didn't want to get close to the wall, as I mentioned like 5 times probably. Anyway, as you guys just saw in the selfie cam, it died out on me, and it was running like crap before that. So I'm hoping, I don't know what's in the fuel tank. I think we probably just sucked down all the good fuel, and we're probably just some crap or water or something because of these stupid old vented caps. That is prime place to let water in. So we're gonna top it up with fuel and see if it'll fire back up. And then we're gonna dump this last little bucket load and park this thing for now, I think. Ugh, good thing I brought fuel. We put about 2 gallons in it earlier, or at least 1.5 gallons, but there goes some guy in his Camaro. It also might just be a matter of this thing overheating. That motor got really hot in there. I could feel it on my back. All right, let's see if the old girl will fire up now. Doesn't help that our charging system doesn't work, so our battery hasn't been charging all day. With the choke on, it'll kind of start. All right, well, I was thinking the fuel pump maybe quit, or we had sucked up some bad fuel out of the tank, but the fuel filter's plumb full. Our shutoff is on. That fuel looks pretty good. So, seemed like it wanted to run with the choke on at least a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, it's pretty warm in here. It's pretty enclosed. I almost need to remove that top hatch, I think, during summer operation like this. It'd be nice in the wintertime, though. Anyway, we're gonna let it cool off a minute, and then we'll hit it again now with the air filter off. See if that has any change. That wouldn't make any sense since it wants to run on choke, but just gotta try something different, I guess. Didn't really do anything other than pull the air filter off, so let's see if it'll... Alrighty, well with that, we are finished up with this project with the little 8C Mighty Mac. What a cute little guy. Pleasantly surprised with this thing's performance. The shutting off at the end, I'm going to attribute to junk in the tank. We didn't pull that tank, and the only way to do it is with the motor out. So we're going to have to do that. But once I put fresh fuel in and let it crank for a little bit, I think it pulled that new fuel back up and was pretty happy by the time we got back over here. So the project may be done, but we are not done with this skid steer because it still needs a ton of work. As of right now, the plan is it's going to live out at my buddy's Jordan's house for right now because I don't have a great spot to store it. And for the time being, this just works out well. I got some big things coming up. You guys will see where we're going to need this thing a lot, I hope. So we're going to haul it back probably in about a month or two. And I hope to kind of pull the thing apart. We're going to drain and clean the fuel tank out. All 4 cylinders really badly. Not really badly, but they all need to be rebuilt, repacked. They're all leaking. Need to get a new ball and socket on that one. But otherwise, this thing, drive system seems fine. Tires work great. Motor runs pretty good. So I think this winter, I hope to do all that work, make it reliable. And then I would like to paint it back to its factory colors and make it look really nice. Get rid of these ugly boom repairs over here because I think they get into the tire sometimes. So with that, I do have a call to action for you guys. If you know where to find these 8C Mighty Mac stickers. I would really like a new set, because if I repaint this thing, I of course want new graphics. So keep an eye out. This winter, I do still plan to work on this thing. The only reason we wouldn't is if I come across a diesel auxiliary hydraulic unit for really cheap. Then even then, we might keep this thing, because I have like I said earlier, I have like 150 bucks into it, maybe 200 bucks with the wiring supplies because of selling that bucket. So really not a good reason to get rid of this thing. And hopefully we'll have some projects for it soon at my own house. So with that, I will see you guys on the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment, look through my playlist of other revivals, auction finds. We're doing all kinds of stuff lately, so the channel's been doing pretty good, and I have only you guys to thank for that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. The little John Deere 322 is also going to live out here for the time being, which I now have the proper snowblower for, which is hydraulic lift and lower. Pretty sweet, works nice. We're towing the deck behind us right now. Been a good little unit so far. Excited to move some snow with it. Time to kick it into hyperdrive.